All right, good morning.
The Three Stooges.
Good morning. My name is Andy Valadez here with Asa Williams to my left and the M woman here to my right, Miss Emilia Young. And right now we're starting this group called the Change Me Saturday Network. And we've just been brainstorming what we're going to put together for our future members. But right now I just kind of wanted to do a recap of what we talked about today and want to invite you to attend the next one. We meet every Saturday morning, 03. It's 0 dark in the morning. And so, Asa, you and I started this thing, and then we now we're 3, and the plan is to grow this thing to 25, meeting every Saturday at 03 in the morning.
At 3 o'clock.
Right?
That's what 03 is.
Not in the afternoon. Not in the afternoon.
Right.
So what do you see coming out of this group? Why are you excited about it? On the spot.
This is the reason why I'm not a lawyer, because I'm not good on the fly, but give me a moment and I can think about that.
Well, we've talked about the format of the meeting and what we're going to accomplish in the meeting. So we start off with a prayer and an energy, recalibration.
Well, setting the tone, because the thing is, we don't want to waste our time, right? The time that we're spending here, 2 hours at a very, very unusual hour where most people are still sleeping or whatever. There's a reason that makes us want to be able to get up early and get together, right? So it's important that we set the tone, so we're not wasting this time, this precious time.
And this is an innovative model we put together. It's called the Change Me for a reason. We really can't change other people. We can only change ourselves. And those that are willing to get up at 03, I mean, I put that in the number of 1 in 10,000, maybe 1 in 100,000, because it's so counterintuitive and it's outside of the box. So, Austin, when we first started meeting at 03 in the morning,
Well, actually, where this came from was you telling me the story about a guy in prison.
Oh, yes.
Who would get up at 2:45 in the morning, and you adopted that model. And when I heard that, it's like, oh, sign me up. I'm all over that. I'm an early riser. But not 3 o'clock in the morning. But typically I would like to get up at 4, and that gives me time to pray, time to do things. And, it's amazing how loud God speaks at 4 o'clock in the morning. And so I liked getting up at 4 when I wasn't being lazy. Well, this gave me a good reason not to be lazy. But in addition to that, the idea was it's a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And that few people are willing to pay such a simple price. I mean, 3 o'clock, that's not a big deal. But for many people, it's a big deal. And so, you look in the scriptures, you see God constantly separating the wheat from the chaff, the sheep from the goats. It's the same thing. We're here to build a model for success. Success comes in many forms and fashions, but there are key trademarks in being successful. There are certain key trademarks. And not only are there key trademarks, but we want to grow. We want to develop. I don't want to be the same person today I was last year. And what am I going to do differently? And the way to do that is get with like-minded people that all have a hunger and a thirst to improve, to better themselves. I am huge about personal development. I've spent thousands of dollars. I spent so much money at Half Price Books one year that when I left, I skewed their whole buying strategy they had the number 1 store in personal development. Now it's just a fraction. I want to get rid of that light on the back of my head. Now it's just a fraction of that cost. They don't even have much of a self-improvement because I was buying so much volume of material. Every week I would go in there and spend $50, $60 or more buying stuff in personal development. And that's, I believe at a crux, that's what this meeting's about, is not who you are, but who can you become and how to affect that. And of course, it takes different It takes a village of like-minded people I'm committed to personal development on different paths that help to bring that together.
Right, and you mentioned that prisoner. The reason why he changed his schedule to 2:45, he was doing 10 years of hard time, and he realized that he created his mess, and he really needed to change himself. So he would get up at 2:45, make his rack, clean his cell, do his reading, his journaling, his praying, whatever it was to get his mind right. So by the time the guard came around for breakfast, he already had a lot of wins going. And when he got out of prison 5 years later, he wound up being very, very successful, teaching other ex-prisoners how to get their life straight, right? So I got to thinking, well, shoot, if a prisoner could do it, I could do it. And like anything, you always want to test it to see if it will work for you. It's not for everybody, we say, but it could be for you. And so I just started clicking the clock back from 4 a.m. to 3:45 to 3:30 to 3:15 to 3 to 2:45. I had planned to take 6 weeks to do it, but I wound up doing it in less than a week. And I found that I really like getting this up this time of the morning. And then there's some other dynamics associated with a 3 a.m. schedule, such as it's considered the third watch. So it's around, we basically are up before the devil is kind of what we say. But we do have a curriculum. We do have a plan that we're putting in place that we're going to share online. So you can just go to the website, Zero Dark Network. We're going to add a page called the Change Me Saturday Network. It's a different group. It's limited to 25, but we say that just in the beginning because we do want to scale this model. If you like what we're doing and you want to get in touch, we do have the Tuesday Mastermind group, which is limited to 12 at 03, same location. And then I started a Friday 03 on Facebook Live. So at the website, you can get all that information. And so today we just had a brainstorming, I call it a mind storm, where we put down these ideas of how to prepare for you. Like when you come to our meeting, the first meeting, second meeting, it'll be different. We'll have different things we're talking about. We'll have different trainings. We'll have different introductions from different groups, different presenters. We'll have things that you can go and do as assignments. We're going to be starting a podcast that we can share with the group, an email list, a text group, etc. But it's about building community. We're currently in the Cy-Fair area, so near Katy, near Spring Branch area. I guess it's within driving distance of the Energy Corridor. We'll give you the location when you reach out to us. You just, again, go to zerodarknetwork.com and you can find our contact info. Anything else that y'all want to say in closing?
Well, I do want to say something in regards to the prison. So we are all in the prison of our own minds. And personal development is about breaking out of that prison. And the thing is, the reason why we're getting up at such a crazy hour to be here is it's the best way to break old habits, right? And we have to be willing to break our habits in order to learn how to be the best versions of ourselves.
Yeah, I call that the silent death of the snooze button. Our life is just passing us by. We can take action. But before we close, tell us a little bit about your business and a little bit about your business. This is not just for business owners. It's really, you could be working for a corporation or you just want to change yourself in whatever disciplines. We have 7 key areas that we'll be focusing on in our life. Borrowed from Howard Partridge's How to Live a Phenomenal Life, but we're going to improve in those areas. We're going to do an assessment after this video for ourselves because we want to rate where we're at now and where we want to be to focus on our dream life. But again, tell us.
Before you do that, just mention who Howard Partridge is since you brought him up.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so Howard Partridge is kind of I don't want to say a best kept secret. He's known, but not known in a lot, right? He is the Zig Ziglar legacy leader. He's an author, speaker, entrepreneur, and he's teaching business owners how to live their dream life, to live their life goals, which live in freedom. It means live in freedom every day.
So if I understand correctly, he's in charge of the Zig Ziglar Foundation.
Well, Tom Ziglar is, but he works for Tom Ziglar.
Oh, okay.
So Tom was Zig's son.
Okay.
And but he is the legacy leader. He's building the brand and reaching out. And so in his readings, and there's other trainers and stuff like that we're borrowing from or using in our resource material. But we are going to be adopting some of those life lessons that are kind of don't reinvent the wheel, if you will. So again, tell me a little about your company and a little bit about yours. Go ahead.
Well, I am a healing minister and a mental health doula. I do have a for-profit business called Sumantra Holistic LLC, but I also do a lot of pro bono work. That's what I do.
And you're known as the M Woman. And
The M Woman, that stands for Energy Medicine, because my mission in life is to improve mental health awareness and care through knowledge and practice of energy medicine.
and suicide preventer.
I am also a suicide preventer, U.S. Army veteran, post-cancer thriver. I am lots of things. I'm the contemporary Renaissance woman.
Awesome. And then awesome.
And interesting enough, you don't have to be a vet to be part of this group, but all of us here are vets. Annie with the Marine Corps, myself with the Army, and Amelia with the Army as well. So I own a couple of businesses. I've actually owned 17 businesses. I've had a few that were very, very successful and some that didn't make the grade. Part of learning, part of doing that. So currently my professions are two forked at this point. One of them is in insurance. Been doing insurance for many years in many facets. And the other is an audio engineer as well. I typically fix church sound systems and optimize what they have. So, and Andy?
Okay, so my name is Andy Valadez again. I am a Marine vet, entrepreneur, dad, and husband of 43 years. My wife and I have been together. Wow, time flew. But I'm a marketing strategist by trade. Started my practice in 1999 and have had an opportunity to really do a lot in the marketing space. But creating groups now is kind of one of my things, is creating groups together, masterminds, if you will, leadership groups, entrepreneurs, leaders. We solve problems really for the community. So we're looking at celebrating what entrepreneurs do, what our vets are doing in the community as well. So I'll do a lot of work with the American Legion, Marine Corps League. So that's me. That's us right now. So now we're 3. We started with 1, and now we're 3. We're looking to grow this group to 25. I'll put our contact information in the description so you can get in touch with us. ASA is a wealth of information in regards to business. Of course, you always want to surround yourself with people that are battle tested, right? They've learned what not to do. And so you have between us probably almost over 100 years of business experience, if you will. And of course, our mighty networks. We are connected to the community, and we're probably a phone call away from making an introduction for you. But the main purpose of this assignment, this mission, so should you so choose, is are you willing to get up? Are you willing to show up? Are you willing to be a part and contribute to a group that's doing remarkable things in our time? So really excited. Zero Dark Network is the website. This is the Change Me Saturday network, and we'd love for you to come join us, and you would be a part of something new, something that's just getting started, and it's so out of the box, it's got people talking, because people are like, what? Who's up at that early in the morning? Well, exactly. Thank you so much.
So I'd like to close this with us saying basically tagline, which is, it's not for everybody, but it may be for you.
That's right. Thank you. Whoa.